That's what I meant to play at the end. Something along those lines. So today we're going to be looking at all the things you are. And what I'm actually going to do is walk you through the harmony, walk you through the melody. I urge you to learn them separately, but just to save time, we're going to go through both at the same time. I'm essentially going to go through a really basic arrangement, and then we're going to talk about some options, some things we can play around with, and some things we can work at. I'm going to move really quickly. I'm going to assume some knowledge. Okay, this is definitely not a beginner video. So get your notepad, get your pen, and if you've got anything you want to contribute, chuck it in the comments below. I'd be totally into that. And by the way, I do offer private lessons online for anyone that might be interested. Just shoot me an email. I'll put it below. And yeah, it's something that we can discuss there. So getting straight into the lesson, we're going to do it in the sort of most common key, but I do want you to think about it in terms of any key, so I'll discuss that as well. Starting in the key of A flat, okay, the first key is in fact an F minor, so we're actually starting on the 6th chord, and the melody is the flat 3rd degree of that 6th chord. So that's our starting point, okay? So I'm playing an F minor 7 chord, just like that, and we find the melody right there, just in the chord, so nice and easy. Then I'm playing the 2 minor, okay, with my pinky up here on what is the flat 3rd degree of that, so right up here. And then we play this part of the melody here, the A flat, and then we're playing the G. We've moved to the 5 chord now in A flat, so it's the E flat 7, and we're playing the 3rd degree here. That's your melody there. Then we play the C natural, okay, which is the 3rd of the A flat. So this song is all about thirds. So no matter what key you do, you can have a pretty good idea how to move it around if you need to. So we're on the A flat. We've resolved to the tonic of the key, and then we do this D flat major, okay, and again it's the 3rd. So we've got. You can vary up what you do with the chord, what voicing you use of the chord. F minor, B flat minor, E flat 7, and A flat. Probably should have mentioned that anyway. So we're on the D flat major now, D flat major 7, D flat 6 if you want to use the 6 with the major 3rd there. And then what we do, we go up a semitone and we play a half diminished. And so the melody again, still on the 3rd of it was the major 3rd of a D flat, now it's the minor 3rd of D in a half diminished chord. We go up a tone, which we can do here, or we can do here, to the G there, whatever's easier. Okay, and then, so we can do so now we're going to the D, half diminished goes to a G7 chord, on the note G, so da, 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 or da, 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 the F again, and now we're playing a C major. C major 7, you could do C major 6 with the E open on top, however you like. We now go to a C minor, and it's just the 3rd of the C minor. Okay, this one here on the 2nd string, the E flat, and then the A flat on the 1st string. We come back to the E flat there. Okay, and then we do. I do this B flat chord here. It's a really lovely chord. So we've got it's a B flat 9 actually, and the 3rd's still here. So again, thirds. Go to so D, 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 C, D, and then we want the G, and we can play it here like that, or we can play it up here, and that comes along with the tonic of this particular key, which is E flat. So it moved to E flat. It did the exact same thing in A flat that it did in A flat in E flat. So from C minor, which was the 6 chord, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay. And then we go to the A flat with the C in it. We go up a semitone with a half diminished, just like before. Play that 3rd again. Was a major 3rd, become a minor 3rd. We play the C, D, E flat, D, C, and then the 3rd. If you move the key and you know where that sort of main note of each part of the melody is, you'll find that the rest will kind of fall together. You'll hear it. Let's just do it in a random key. There it is. Oh, why is that happening? Hang on. What have I done here? B. So I can't reach it. It's too far down. Run out of fingers. There it is. I got there in the end. Apologies. You get the idea, though. You can kind of fill in, as long as you know, like in that one, if you're playing the thirds of each chord and you're finding them, the melody will fill it. Use your ear. You're a jazz player. You can do that. Or if you're struggling, like I just was, that's what you work on. You know, that's a really big thing to work on. So where were we? We got ourselves through the modulated A section, that, like we'll call it like the A and the A1 almost, if you think of it that way. And we resolved on G. We finished on the G. So now we stay in the key of G and we just do a 2-5-1 in G. And the melody takes an arpeggio in G from the fifth. So 5-1-5, okay, in the G. So then we do an A minor. I'll just stick with the basics. So an A minor 7, like that. Okay, D, C, C. See that voicing I'm using of an A minor 7? You might be familiar, you might not. And then I like to sneak a little D7 or D9 in here. And then now I always muck with the melody on my arrangements. I sometimes don't play exactly what the melody is. I might be hearing something different. I might have just forgotten, or I might just improvise the melody the way a singer might. I like to do that. But it's really. And what I do here is we've done our G, and that the A minor 7, sneaking the D7, and then our melody is still on a D7. So again, I'm making up melodies here, but the crux of it is so D, E flat, C, B, and that resolves on the G. Okay. Now this is just the fundamental way to play it. I'll go through and we'll add some interesting stuff, as I mentioned. Okay. And then what I did in there, that was some stuff I've mucked around with, but what's really happening there, once we've resolved, we've gone play a G major like that, or you could do a G major 7 like that. Then this goes to F sharp minor 7. It's the same thing we did in G, but now it's in the key of E. So we're doing the 2, the F sharp minor, with the 4th degree, goes to the 3rd, then a B7, B, C, A, G sharp, and that resolves on the E. So it was F sharp minor, B7, E, and you can see how I've worked the melody into that as well. And then the C7 sharp 9 sets up a return to the A section. So we do everything you can do. Obviously the A section's all the same. So I'm throwing a few little fun things in. But we've got the D major 7. Then it goes to a G flat 13, which we do up here so we can get the melody. Then the next chord is a C minor. And E flat in the melody. Again, I forget the melody sometimes and start making stuff up. Ba, 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 ba. So it's C minor. We drop back, we play diminished. Okay, so, and the melody's the G. I think I like to play the F. And then we get a B flat minor 7 arpeggio straight. So just play a B flat minor 7 chord. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, and I messed this up before, so let's try not to mess this up this time. So what I think here, okay, it's the 5-1 now to resolve. So when we go up to the, I should just be thinking a bog stock E flat 7 voicing here of some sort. And And then, but I muck around with it. But again, I want to keep it simple this first time around. So E flat 7, and then we want to do an E flat 7 where we get the G lower, which is part of the melody. All the things you are. There it is. So then you could do a variation on something to do with an E flat 7. So I never use this stuff, but it's there. I mean I should, but and then so that's your whole way through. Okay, that's just your basic arrangement with some fairly basic chords. Now, I don't muck with the A section that much on this one. I don't know why. Some standards I can fill them out with all chords in between. This one I sort of struggle with. But what you could really do with this one, you could almost do 2 chords or a variation of each chord. You've got a bit of time. The melody doesn't move a heck of a lot, so you could do like a, just for argument's sake, because I don't have anything better to do, right? Or say, so we could do the minor to major substitution for every single one. It will sound quite nice. You could do it the other way. I'm doing thirds actually. I'm going up a third. So in certain cases, so you can think about adding movement by adding chords under the melody, and that's what I'm getting at. So I just don't hear it in this song. I guess I'm throwing ideas out there because I feel like I should be, because it's solo jazz guitar, but I'm just going to be honest. I just like to keep it simple in the melody. If anything, you can do all that stuff, but you could also do some interesting voicings. Like I really like putting that, so I'm putting the 9th degree in there, okay, and that creates a really nice tension there. And then I really quite like this. What was that? So I'm doing this B flat, minor, flat 5 type deal, flat 5, sharp 11. Okay, just because it sounds nice. So now I'm using an E flat with a sharp 4 in there, or sharp 11 if you want to call it that. And then again an A flat, major 7, sharp 11, okay, or sharp 4. So you can think about just finding notes that go with your melody in a really interesting way. Like I said, to be really honest, I don't hear, for whatever reason, I don't hear. Joe Pass would probably hear and do some really amazing things. I cannot and do not. But you don't need to. It's a beautiful, simple melody, and yeah, do what you like. Play around with it. You could you do anything else with it? Let's I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with I can't. So the B section, another story. I've got some cool stuff to show. So let's just work through. Let's continue through the A section. So we get to the A here. I do some interesting stuff on the 5 chord. I like to turn it into a diminished. I just like to turn dominant 7s into diminished. It just sounds good. And then you can voice that